welcome to Talk Radio with Dr. K, the place where talk is power. This is my favorite day of the week, other than Sunday, because I get to come and spend this hour with you talking about things that matter. Here on Talk Radio with Dr. K, we are live at WOKB 1680 AM. We are also live on Facebook. So I'm giving a big shout out to all of you who are watching us on Facebook Live. When you get there, go ahead and share it. I'm going to pause right here, I think, and I'm going to share it myself. You know, I'm multitasking when I'm doing this thing. And so I'm going to take a moment and share it as well. I look forward to spending this time with you. It is so important that we take time to recognize our sponsor, the New Life Church of God in Christ, where my husband, the Bishop Derek W. Hutchins, is the pastor. Hey, Glenn, can I get some applause for New Life? Yay for New Life. Glenn is pulling up some applause. I've got to give a big shout out to Glenn because I love live radio. I say that often because he literally helps to make this happen. And Brother Leon is here in the studio with me. You know what I recognized the other day? You know, I used to listen to radio all the time because I've just always loved radio, Glenn. And one of the things that I recognized is that a lot of the talk radio shows that I loved, like they had people in the studio with them, right? And so it just struck me the other day that I got people in here too.
You do.
I've got like a talk radio with Dr. K team, right?
You do.
It's you, Glenn. Yeah. You are the engineer extraordinaire, the producer, all of those amazing things for the show. And then Brother Leon is here capturing images, video every week. So it's a full production. And I'm so very grateful for that. I certainly don't take it lightly. Now, I think I've shared this, but if I have not shared it, if it hasn't reached you yet, go ahead and share it when you jump on. But I'm going to go ahead and roll with what we're doing today. If you are there and I haven't said hello to you or you missed my hello, I'm so glad you're here. To our new listeners, welcome. I'm so grateful that you have joined us. I want to go ahead and extend the invitation for you to come back every Wednesday at 1 o'clock p.m. And then for our listeners who come every single week, thank you so much for always showing up, always being here, and also always commenting and letting me know that you are enjoying this show. So what I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about something that you probably heard as a lead into the show. And Glenn was doing an announcement of something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is the 2020 I'm God's Girl for Real virtual conference. It is coming, and I'm so excited. We are making preparations. This is our 5th year, and we have done this conference, of course, in ballrooms and in places that we could gather and sit at tables together and be in the same room and hug each other. Okay, we cannot do all of that this year because it's virtual, but this is what I've been saying. New space, but same God. New space, but same God. And I am believing God to show up in such a mighty and powerful way. You know, God is not constrained. He is not constrained by location. So his spirit can be wherever we invite it. So the Holy Spirit can show up wherever he is invited. And I am believing him to show up wherever you are. So if you've registered for the conference, I'm going to go ahead and tell you to make space for him. So make sure you've got plenty of running space and jumping space and falling out in the floor space, whatever space you need, because you will be in your own space, probably in your PJs, because it is October 31st at 10 o'clock a.m. until 12 p.m. And we've got some amazing speakers who will be joining us as well. And so I just want you to register. Go ahead and register. It's very easy. All you need to do is jump over to, Let me clarify that. Don't jump over there now because we are live. I want you to, after the show, go ahead and jump over to the I'mGod'sGirlForReal.com website. That's I'mGod'sGirlForReal.com website so that you can register for the 2020 I'm God's Girl for Real virtual conference. We keep getting testimony after testimony from previous years of just what God has done and is still doing in the lives of the women who were in attendance with us. And so I am so believing for this to be a transformational time. Hey, Glenn, guess what today is?
I know what today is.
Say it, Glenn.
Get your mind right Wednesdays. Get your mind right.
When I grow up, I'm going to learn to say it like you. That is my aspiration, Glenn.
You better get your mind right.
To grow up and be able to say, listen, I have just gotten to the point where I stopped saying your. Because I was saying, it is Get Your Mind Right Wednesday.
So proper.
Glenn, I was saying it is Get Your Mind Right Wednesday.
Oh, man.
So now I've been listening to you long enough. I'm going to try it, Glenn. Here
okay,
I go.
Go.
Let me take in a deep breath. Okay.
Okay.
It is Get Your Mind Right Wednesday. Did I do it, Glenn?
Awesome.
Did I get it?
Yeah, you got the cho. Get cho.
Cho.
Get cho.
So it's not even yo.
No.
It's cho.
It's get cho.
Okay. Cho, Brother Leon, it's cho. Got
You
me?
see, Brother
Got
Leon?
me?
Get
All
cho.
right. It's get cho. Get your mind right Wednesday. I got it now. I got it. So listen, hanging out with me today is one of my favorite girls in the world, and that is our resident psychotherapist, Andrea Wise-Brown. Andrea, welcome to Talk Radio with Dr. K.
Hey, Dr. K, how are you today, and how is Glenn? Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Andrea.
Andrea.
Yes.
What are we talking about today on Get Your Cho Mind Right Wednesday?
Yes. So, and I love that. I love that we can see your beautiful face. Now, I am not partaking today. However, I am so elated that everybody else can. Because you know what, sis? You have a face for TV, okay?
Oh, but you are so precious.
Well,
Glenn is shaking his head. Glenn, you think I have a TV face?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right. Well, speak that into existence. You know, I believe that we can say some things. There's some power in our mouths, right? So go ahead and put that out in the universe. Dr. K, Talk Radio, no, Talk TV with Dr. K.
Come on,
Glenn
now,
said yes.
Yes. Claim it. And you know what, Dr. K, that is pretty much what we are talking about.
That's right.
Today.
That's right.
It's claiming our destiny, calling it in, calling it to life, calling what it is that you desire into your lives. And so what's happened and what's occurred is, especially now during this pandemic, a lot of people have just accepted the status quo. They have just accepted that things are going to be dark in the future. They have just accepted that what is, it just is, and it will be. And I am saying that no. God has something else for you.
Yes.
And I want everyone to kind of sit with themselves. And today, hopefully, I can rejuvenate you. And when you sit with yourself and you try to identify why it was that you were created, because it is more than just that. It is more than it is what it is. Because when you put the energy out of it is what it is, then guess what? You're telling the truth.
Yes.
It's going to keep you right where you are. But you were created for way more than that.
Yes.
You were created for way more than this moment. And we call the things in our life. We call the success in our life. We have the power to do it. We call it then our co-creator God is the one who grants the sale.
Yes.
He grants the things to come into our life. And so today I am led, my spirit has led me. I've been on fire with this.
Mm-hmm.
We will talk today, Dr. K, because I want to rejuvenate everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to sit still and figure out what is that that's in your belly that you have kept in your belly.
Mm-hmm.
Probably why some of our bellies are a little bit wider now during the pandemic. But what is in your belly that needs to come out?
Yes.
That you need to breathe life into, because God gave you something. Like, we were all created to be great. He knew us before we knew ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We all were created with a passion and a purpose. And so it is now time to ignite it. We are coming up on the end of 2020, and God shook the table this year. He shook the table.
Yes, he
Well,
did. Yes, he
come on
did.
now. Come on.
Yes, he
We had all
did.
these. Go ahead. Let me let you talk. Come on in.
No.
sis, 'cause we
I'm
on
saying
fire
he
today.
did. He did. And I think, and I want to go back to the start of the year, or even as we were leading up to the start of the year. And there were these grand, and I remember seeing it all over social media. I saw people making declarations about what 2020 was going to be, what 2020, what they were going to do in 2020, what they were believing God to do for them in 2020. And many of those voices that I saw just consuming space on social media, now I hear crickets.
Yes.
So what happened? Right? Because the same God that was the same God in 2019, in December of 2019, when all of these declarations were happening, is the same God now. God did not change.
Mm-hmm.
Did the environment change? Did things change in the environment? Have things happened in the world? Absolutely. But here is the beauty of the change around us, is the reality that God has not changed. And whatever he has placed on the inside of us, even if it did make our bellies big, as you talked about in the beginning, the truth of the matter is, and this is where you're leading us, the truth of the matter is that if God put it in there, it's still in there. And we are having some powerful talk, because we are talking with our resident psychotherapist, Andrea Wise-Brown, and she is just simply sharing with us some things for us to remember, some things for you to remember as we are starting to round out this year of 2020 and really reflecting back over some things that have happened, what has been going on around us. Even in the midst of all of that, though, there are some critical things for us to remember. And before the break, she had posed a question: who does God say? What does God say about me? What does God say about me? In other words, who does God say I am? So take it away, Andrea.
Yes, so just referring back to that, I want everyone who's listening to take some time and try to connect to that. What is my purpose? Because we are miracles. And so why did he construct these miracles to be on this earth? That is your purpose. So what does God say about you? Now, Dr. K, this is the conversation that you and I have, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to give this to you, because I will always give credit to the people around me who teach me and who we connect with, and we grow, how we grow together, my sisters. And so assignment is a powerful word. But watch this here, watch this, because I had to sit still with myself and go down deep and lay on the ground and get up. And so I'm thinking about purpose, right?
Yes.
So to me, this is how I define the difference between your purpose and your assignment. So I want everybody to think, because people are always stuck, right? They'll say to me when I first start working with them, what is it, Andrea? Everybody says there's something that I'm supposed to be doing, and I can't connect to this purpose, and I don't know what it is. And I say, what does God say about you? And so then I want to help people, right? And then when we think of assignment with the work that we do. So I want to help by drilling down a little bit lower. So creating a difference in your head between your purpose and your assignment. So your purpose is the thing that you do, and when you do it, it gives you the tingles. So for me, right, when I'm talking and speaking to whether it's crowds or whether it's individuals, when I see that light bulb goes off and you start to think in your head and you start to think a little bit differently and your shoulders start to rise and your eyes get a little brighter and you start to feel like some of the load of life is kind of off your shoulders, you are empowered and inspired to move differently, to fly. For me, I get tingles.
Yes.
When you start to realize those things, I get tingles. That's how I know it's my purpose. You understand? Okay, then I start to feel joy when I get a client who feels like they're in despair and they can't see past what's in front of them. And I kind of show them how there is a piercing of hope through it. And I show them where the piercing is and what they need to do. And they start to change and they come back and Andrea, that glimmer right there, that thing right there, coming from despair to a space of hope, that gives me tingles.
Yes. And let's talk about the tingles for a moment.
Okay.
Brother Leon, were you just laughing because we talked about tingles? Oh, I thought I thought you were laughing because let me tell you about the tingles. It is the feeling of purpose, right? It's the feeling of purpose. Purpose, being in purpose, having purpose, has a feeling associated with it. And so, sister, let me tell you how I kind of differentiate between the assignment and purpose, right? Assignment is that thing that we were created to do, just like you're telling us. The thing that you were created to do in the earth when you were on God's mind before you were ever conceived. Right? Before the foundation of the world, he was already thinking about us and a specific assignment that he was going to send to the earth for us to accomplish. And so we all have different assignments. That's why I don't understand competition and jealousy and all of those kinds of things, because guess what? None of us have the same assignment. So I can't compete with you if we're not doing the same thing. I can't be jealous of you if you are no threat to my assignment. And so because we all have different assignments. Now, when it comes to purpose, we all have one purpose. And that's what gives us tingles. Listen, the one thing that is our purpose, no matter who we are, no matter how we showed up, no matter what the circumstances were, no matter the color of our skin, we all came here with one singular purpose. And that is simply this, to glorify God.
That's good.
That was our only purpose. So when you are living in assignment and you are doing what you were sent here to do, you are then glorifying God. And that's what gives you the tingles. The fact that we are glorifying God is, the tingles is kind of the stamp of approval. Yes, you are right where you are supposed to be. You are right in your assignment. I am well pleased. And so he even gives our flesh, right, an acknowledgement of that. So when we tingle, when we have that tingle and we have that response in our body, it is God saying, you. It is you in whom I am well pleased. When we are in assignment.
Good. But this is the thing, sis. When we are living, like you said, in our purpose, right? And we get that tingle, right? That is confirmation that is what God says about us, right? So that's that tingle, right? And the action that you do, that's that feedback. That's biofeedback, right? That you're getting from God, that I am working in my purpose. But let me tell you about the shift that I actually saw with the difference between that and assignment. So assignment, yes, it still is in the flow. Because that's the thing. When we're in purpose, the tingle is about being in flow, right? And it's confirmation. Yes. But let me tell you what I see an assignment as. The assignment, because see, when we're in purpose, it's that thing that you do without prompting. It's without prompting. So I could be at the supermarket and I'm in line and I turn around and I see somebody who looks sad, and in my spirit, not in my husband's or my daughter's, because they're looking at the shoe and the supermarket clerk so we can get out. But in my spirit, I'm saying I got to say hello.
Absolutely.
There is something in my body that God created that says I have to touch this person in some way to let them know that they are seen, right? That is my purpose. It's without prompting. No one tells me to do it. It's without. But let me tell you something about assignment. Assignment sometimes can be a little difficult because assignment assignment takes some work. So assignment, I believe, is that thing that you know you need to do, but sometimes you don't feel like doing. And it's still healing, and it's still revealing, and it still aligns with purpose. But sometimes it is the work. It is the thing that you don't want to do, and it doesn't feel as comfortable, and you may need to be prompted to do it. And I'm going to give you an example of that, right? An example would be, I'm not going to say the whole thing, but there's been times that I will call you. You know, we sisters.
Right.
I'll call you and I'll say, sis, this keeps coming up for me. And sis, it doesn't feel good to me. Sis, I don't want to do it, sis. And you will always say to me, I understand that you may not want to do it, but it is your assignment.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm like, good golly molly. Well, there is a shift that occurs in my brain, in my spirit, in my body. There is a shift that occurs because I understand that I am God's, and I was created because I have work to do.
Yes.
So what I go back to, your assignment is to maybe work with this person or have this conversation, but it still aligns with the flow and the purpose of my being.
Absolutely.
If that makes any sense.
Yes. And the whole time you were talking about our assignment being oftentimes the thing that we don't want to do, but it is the thing that we know we are supposed to do. I immediately went to Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. Because let me tell you what was happening. Jesus knew what his assignment was. He knew why he had been sent to the earth. He knew that his assignment was ultimately to take him to the cross. But here we find him praying in the Garden of Gethsemane. And the thing that he is praying to the Father is saying, I wish this would pass from me.
Ooh.
I know that I'm here on assignment. I know that there is a mission that I am to accomplish in the earth. But the closer I get to it, the more I am dreading what is ahead. So I wish this cup could pass from me. And the Bible talks about Jesus wrestled in prayer. He wrestled with the notion of the assignment that was in front of him. But let me tell you what the wrestling accomplished. It accomplished him getting to the place where at the end of it, he could say, I really don't want to do this. But he arrived at this one place, nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. And so sometimes when we are in assignment, it is not the walk of skipping through the tulips. It is not the walk of everything coming up roses. You know, sometimes living in assignment may have deep, dark valley experiences.
Yes.
We may be going down paths that we would rather not go. We may be called to blaze trails that we don't want to blaze. We may be called to love people that's hard to love.
Yes.
We may be called to forgive people who hurt us,
Yes.
who misused us, who abused us, right?
Come on now. Mm-hmm.
But we still have to get to that place of, I don't want to do this, God, but nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. Why? Because I got one job. I came here with one job. And that was simply to do this, to bring you glory.
Yes.
So whatever my assignment is, whatever part I have to play, whatever I have to do, God, give me the strength to do it, because I don't want to ever think that I will return to you not having done the thing that you sent me here to do, the things that you sent me here to accomplish, because I got in my own way and did not complete the wrestling to get to the nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. And that is our time, Sister Andrea Wise-Brown. Glenn is clapping. Oh my gosh. If you didn't get anything, if you missed the entire show, I'm encouraging you to go back and listen. You have several ways to listen. You can listen at the WOKB 1680 AM Facebook page. We are there live. Go and watch and listen to the replay. You can also listen at the I'mGod'sGirlForReal.com website. All of the shows are archived there. Make sure you go back and take a listen. And while you're there, don't forget to register for the 2020 I'm God's Girl for Real virtual conference while you're on the website. This has been absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Andrea, I'm so grateful. I'm holding up your book again, 6 Pillars to Power Up Your Mind. Mental Health is a Lifestyle by Andrea Wise-Brown. I need you to go over to Amazon, grab your copy of this book so you can have 6 Pillars to Power Up Your Mind. It has been my utter joy to be back with you this week. I look forward to being back with you next Wednesday. So listen, wherever you are, whatever you're facing and whatever is facing you, do this one thing, and that is simply this: speak life.
Yeah, yeah.